we could go right on to the Milwaukee Bucks. They're a similarly limited team, but if you're willing to give up Dante DiVincenzo, who hasn't returned from injury, you do have the mid-tier salary of a George Hill on this roster. And then you could be willing to give up Brook Lopez with knowing Giannis, how well he plays in low and big lineups, how well Bobby Portis has played for you as well. The names I have written down, I don't know who you necessarily have to give up. So the higher end one is Harrison Barnes. If you're willing to give up Brook Lopez and Sacramento leading into a rebuild because Brook Lopez is, either a third team gets involved there, Harrison Barnes would be great for this team.
A really fun fit with this Bucks team. The shot creation ability in the half court would be huge. Just giving yourself another option, especially come playoff time. I really like that fit.
This guy shouldn't cost too much, but his salary is so high that I couldn't figure out a real way to get him, but I wanted to list him. Thaddeus Young. Just the $14 million price point is tough. I don't know. Would you give up Brook Lopez for Thaddeus Young? I don't think I would. The back injury is pretty sinister, but Thaddeus Young's in an expiring contract. And Thaddeus Young also doesn't space the floor as well as even a PJ Tucker. And
I don't think I would, just because Brook getting healthy is too key for this team. You need him to be able to contribute.
So you would need to be in a 3-for-1 situation, and even that is tough because why would you give up Dante DiVincenzo even though you have Grayson Allen? I just thought he would be somewhat.
I think it's more reasonable to give him up now because Pat Connaughton has been good enough, and Grayson Allen has taken legitimate strides forward that you can view him as more of a luxury item, especially because Giannis handles the ball, because Chris Middleton can be a go-to wing scorer, because you have Drew Holiday. I do think that the emergence of those two has been significant enough that you can bear it apart with him.
The issue you run into with him, though, is so if you use Dante DiVincenzo and George Hill, you still need two of your other players because you can't. You shouldn't move Grayson Allen, and he's also signed an extension to the poison pill provision. And we've already said we wouldn't move Brook Lopez. So I listed him because I liked him there. Robert Covington's a little bit cheaper. And so it'd be easier to step ladder your way to a 3-for-1 with him if you're willing to give up DiVincenzo.
I don't like the fit.
What?
Covington is like a little bit of a fake 3-and-D guy, right? Like the three ball isn't quite always there. And the defense is more situational where he thrives in these off-ball settings and can struggle at times against the point of attack. You already have that in Giannis, who is not the world's greatest isolation defender and thrives as that free safety. I don't think that you can maximize Covington's skill set on this team.
I think you can because you have Drew, Giannis, and then even Chris Middleton to where they're not going to be asking him to do the same stuff as Portland is. And then in lineups where Giannis isn't playing, Portis and Covington in the front court, or maybe Drew Holiday is in that lineup as well. I think
it's enough of an overlap that you're, even if it's not his skills you're limiting someone else's to maximize him. I just don't love the fit.
The last two names I have, one is probably easier to get. You'd be trying to reboot his stock, but JaMychal Green, the idea of him, been bad this year, but he would definitely work for Milwaukee.
Jokic spoke up for him the other night.
Jokic is a good teammate, though. That's not surprising. And then I don't know what it would take for Dallas to think about it. Like maybe there's another move happening. Or they're just worried about his long-term health. I would love Maxi Kleber in Milwaukee.
I thought you were about to suggest Kristaps there for a second. I was like, how is this going to happen? But yes, Kleber would be a good fit. Underrated defender, good floor spacing shooter, can play the 5. I think that makes sense.
Now, that being said, in all reality, Milwaukee's probably looking at a Daniel House or Kenrich Williams type situation. I don't even know if they have enough assets to get them, but you might have to look that cheaply because it's so hard to get into salary matching trades. Harrison Barnes would be amazing, though.
Harrison Barnes is the ideal fit here.
Yeah. Eric Gordon, I thought about, too, if you're willing to give up Brook Lopez. I don't know why Houston would want Brook Lopez, but if they really like Dante DiVincenzo.
I don't know that I would give up DiVincenzo for Gordon.
Oh, I would in a heartbeat. Gordon is so good. I guess the price point next year, I get it. But with DiVincenzo, I guess Gordon doesn't have the cleanest health bill either. I would think about it. I guess giving up both Lopez and DiVincenzo, you need to get Harrison Barnes back.
If I give you another 10 minutes, you're going to fully talk yourself out of it.
Fair enough. I did catch shit from Bucks fans I think I suggested it was DiVincenzo, Brook Lopez, and something else last year for Harrison Barnes, and they gave me a bunch of shit for it. Maybe they'll do so again.
Maybe that's going to be my strategy on the Western Conference. If I just hype up every single team's players and just rule all of them untouchable, do you think I'll just get all of the Twitter love?
Maybe. You also post like 3-second clips and say, this guy has improved his pick and roll decision making, and it's just one highlight that lasts like 2.5 seconds, and it'll go viral and you'll be set.